What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So I had a question. One of the subscribers that is, hit me in the inbox. I'm friends with them on Instagram. Go follow my Instagram, Mumble4Life08. But anyways, he hit me up and said, what's my thoughts on, Tank Davis possibly fighting Lomachenko, Vasiliy Lomachenko. So I want to go ahead and speak on that, man. First and foremost, man, I have mixed feelings about it, and this is the reason why. First and foremost, like, I'm gonna be the first to say, I do think that Tank and Floyd, or more so Floyd, I don't think Tank is afraid of none of these dudes, but I think Floyd purposely avoided Lomachenko. I would definitely say that. Coming up in Tank's career, when Lomachenko was calling out Tank, I remember, I'll never forget, I was disappointed. Man, I was so disappointed. But I'll never forget when Lomachenko was calling out Tank. And Tank was like, Lomachenko's window is closing. He's on his way out, and we're coming up. Lomachenko's getting old. But then he turned around and fought Yuriorkis Gamboa. Like, that was ass backwards, but whatever. So at one point I did feel like Floyd was just strategically moving around Lomachenko, avoiding Lomachenko for Tank Davis. But as of now, like, I don't have a problem with the fight. The only problem I have is, the fans that want to see Tank fight Lomachenko, are you really gonna give Tank credit if he beats Lomachenko? I think Tank can stop Lomachenko at this point in his career. Yeah, I do. He can't fight Lomachenko the way he fought Frank Martin, though. And I thought Tank looked exceptionally well against Frank Martin. The only problem is, when you try to press a guy like Lomachenko, that's where Lomachenko uses his angles real well. When you try to tuck up and come forward, he uses his angles very well to neutralize that. I don't think Lomachenko can stop. I don't think Lomachenko will stop Tank at all. But I do think Lomachenko, even at this point, would give Tank problems. But the problem that I'm having is, or my only question is, are y'all gonna give Tank credit if he beats Lomachenko? Meaning, what's the point of this fight? What's the point of having this fight if y'all are just gonna go in there saying, well, Lomachenko was old if Tank beats him? Like, I don't want no preconceived excuses already made for Lomachenko before even going to the fight, because Lomachenko looked very good against George Kambosos, right? But if Tank fights him and beats him, are you going to give him credit, or are you going to? Because I don't think Lomachenko he doesn't look like he's past it. To me, he doesn't. He doesn't look like he's past it at all. So, are you going to give Tank his credit if Tank beats him, or are you going to be one to just say, well, Tank waited Lomachenko out and he fought him when he was old? Like, cause that I don't like. I heard the same thing with Mayweather and Pacquiao, right? Like, everybody wanted to still see the fight, and you can't say they didn't still want to see the fight, because the fight did 4.6 million pay-per-view buys. So you can't say everybody didn't still want to see the fight. But everybody wanted to still see the fight, and then after Floyd beats Pacquiao, everybody wants to run with the whole, he waited for him to be old. Well, if that's the case, here's my thing: he couldn't have been looking too old, because you still tuned in to watch the fight. So it couldn't have been that much of a mismatch, because if that was the case, then why the hell would you even watch the fight? What is there to be curious about? We watch the fight. We watch fights, big events, because we're curious to see the outcome, right? Now, I don't want this same situation to be with Tank. Like, I don't want, like, now in a situation, like, I give you a prime example of somebody being old, like Danny Garcia versus Eric Morales. That's somebody that was like, okay, like, when I look at Danny Garcia's resume. Danny Garcia has an underrated resume. But I'm not finna. Eric Morales is not finna be somebody I bring up, right? As a good example, if you want to give Pacquiao an excuse or talk about Pacquiao being old, Pacquiao versus Ugas is a very good example because Pacquiao looked like he just looked shot in that fight, like a former shell of himself. And I knew Pacquiao was declining after the Keith Thurman fight. When I saw Pacquiao started getting tired in the later rounds in the Keith Thurman fight, and the Keith Thurman fight was in 2019. When I saw Pacquiao start to get have less punch outputs in the later rounds, that's when I knew Pacquiao was old. So when seeing him against Ugas, yeah, if you want to say Pacquiao was old against Ugas, yeah, that's a good one, right? But Lomachenko does not look like a shot fighter. He doesn't. So that's my only thing with the fight. I want to see the fight. I would love to see the fight. I would actually love to see Tank versus Lomachenko more than Tank versus Shakur. I don't really care. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, unpopular opinion, I don't care to see Tank versus Shakur, bro. I don't, and it's not because I know I'm a Tank fan, and it's not because I'm trying to protect Tank, because I think Tank will beat Shakur, but I just think that would be that. I know they're gonna put that shit on pay-per-view, and I just think that stylistically, that's gonna be a boring fight, bro. We're gonna see Shakur heavily cautious, more cautious than he was against Edwin De Los Santos, and we're gonna see Tank just sitting there waiting for an opportunity. Yeah, I just don't really care to see that fight. I don't think that's gonna be an entertaining fight, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's a fight that needs to happen, but I just don't. I would rather see Tank versus Lomachenko. At least we know Lomachenko is gonna go for it. Lomachenko ain't gonna give a damn. Like he gonna figure out his little angles and he gonna try to go for it at the end. So at least at least with Lomachenko, I know I'll be entertained, bro. And I'm a hardcore boxing fan. I'm just keeping it 100, bro. Like, let's not act like, you know what I'm saying, like that's not gonna be the most entertaining fight. I just put it like that. And I don't care what nobody says. Call me what you want. I don't really care. Like, I'd rather see Tank versus Devin Haney. At least with Devin Haney, he gonna go for it. And I'm not knocking Shakur because Shakur is just very well at controlling distance and range. So it's like, he don't gotta go for it if he don't have to because he's so good at controlling it. I'm not knocking Shakur at all, bro, but I think that's gonna be a boring fight, bro. I'd rather, at least Devin Haney is gonna go for it, bro. At least, Lomachenko's gonna go for it, bro. And that's no knock to Shakur, bro. Cause Shakur is just that good, where he knows how to control the distance and range. So I don't really care to see him versus Shakur, but him versus Lomachenko, I want to see that next. Because initially I wanted to see Tank versus Devin Haney. I've always called for that. I've always thought I'm one of the few guys that always thought that Tank Davis would beat Devin Haney. And you guys can check my old videos for that. Now I did, after I saw Tank versus Regis, I was like, after I saw Devin versus Regis, I was like, hey, Tank gotta be on it, because I don't know, man. But I've always thought Tank would beat Devin. But unfortunately, we're not getting that fight. Devin's talking about taking 2 years off, and he just, got, stripped for the WBC, and they say he might come back at 147. So, we're not gonna see that. So I don't have a problem with Tank fighting Lomachenko as long as you give Tank his credit should he beat Lomachenko, because you're gonna give Lomachenko credit if he beats Tank. So I don't have a problem with that fight at all. I think Lomachenko looked really good against George Kambosos, and I think if they fight each other, whoever wins should get full credit. If you don't think Tank should get full credit for fighting Lomachenko, then you shouldn't be wanting to see that fight, because you're just already coming up with an excuse, and I'm not a fan of that. So that's my take on it. I do want to see the fight though. And at this point, I think Tank beats Lomachenko at this point in his career. But this is a fight that this fight needs to happen. But that's just my take on it, man. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Who do you want to see Tank fight next? Are you interested to see Tank fight Lomachenko? And if you are interested to see a Tank fight Lomachenko, drop your predictions. Who do you think will win? By what? Knockout? By decision? Just pick something. But what do I know?